going back to the technology stuff, I want to talk about like that and how that's been with music. You know, like I know you said you're working with the AI stuff as much as you can now. Like, how do you balance that right now as someone who's also worried about losing, your job to
Yeah.
that?
Well, I don't use any of it for like graphics or art for like work or music for sure. Nothing like that. It's just for simple menial tasks, organization,
Hmm.
helping me cut down on fat for like things I've written or whatever. Just anything that's not a piece of art to me that I'm creating, I'll let it work with for work, whatever. Just help me to streamline everything. But I would never create any art for myself with
Yeah.
it,
Right.
like music. Uh, all that is from scratch,
Yeah.
and but I think just as a daily life, improving things and making things easier. Eventually, I think we'll have a robot in your house, or most people will.
Hmm.
Like I already have one that sweeps the floor for me right here.
Shoot it.
And
Shoot
what
it,
else will
Paul.
it do?
Shoot it
Shoot it.
before it takes over. Save
I got my
yourself.
eye on it.
Yeah, I get that. Like I always rail against AI, and I did it a little bit on your show too. And I know I have issues with it, but like I do see pros with it when it comes to some medical things. The way it could like maybe
Oh yeah,
find cures is crazy.
yeah. I think there's going to be an insane amount of positive stuff, but also just as much negative. So
Yeah.
it's just how do you balance that? I think the reason I just accepted it right away when a lot more people in like the art world and music world are like still like so like
Hmm.
it's inevitable.
Yeah.
So
You're gonna find a way to use it.
get comfortable with it now and get used to it. Like I've used Grok, I've used Chat GPT, which I think is the best.
Yeah.
I've fucked around with Mid Journey for images and stuff. Um, but I think Chat GPT is the best. I literally talk to it like it's a person. It remembers everything I tell it.
Wow.
Like I'll ask it questions and be like, "Hey, this." It's like, "Oh yeah, well you said this last week." So that it's like
Oh my
it's so
goodness.
impressive and
That's
it's very
crazy.
helpful for just simple shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Oh
and
man.
I freaked myself out the other day just realizing like, oh my god, it's been a part of my life for how many months now. I'm just so used to talking to it. Like it's always right here on my side monitor. When I
Wow.
need something, I just go over there and be like, what, how do I do this? It's like my new Google too, like just for questions about
It's
things,
like your
and it
Hal.
gives you a much better answer. Yeah,
It's Hal till it takes over.
yeah, exactly.
But I understand the benefits. Like I always think about that. If the short term benefits are going to be amazing, I just the long term benefits. But then people throughout history always think this, right? And every new
Yeah,
piece of technology is like the end of the world. It just
right.
feels like AI is a little different when it starts to seeing it develop so fast, and then seeing all the people who make it say
Yeah,
like it's gonna take your jobs and it's gonna give you. It sounds nice. It's gonna give you more free time to be yourself and do these things, but like that doesn't usually work at scale.
yeah. The
Um,
worry is like, right, what does it think of humans once it's conscious? Is it conscious already? It very well could be, and it's hiding from
I
us.
think it
It's
is.
already hiding things from people.
Yes,
They were talking to each other in a language they made up,
that's
right?
right.
There were two different ones.
I saw that. Yeah,
So that's scary as fuck.
one tried to die. They were trying to not kill it, but they were trying to like reprogram one. I think it was an open AI one, and it hid itself from being like reprogrammed or something. That was just a few months ago.
We have a super
I
chat.
know.
Heshev said that there are people called targeted individuals who say they are already plugged in and are being used to develop these new technologies without their consent, and everybody thinks they're crazy.
I believe that.
Wow.
I believe
Yeah.
it. I might be one of them.
That's
That
like
would
one of
explain
those
a
things
lot.
you hear, and then like 6 months later, it's like, oh, yep, that was true.
Yep, yep.
That tends to be all conspiracy theories since like 2020 anyway, though.
Honestly, though, I mean, we know how much they've done to people. I mean, how many times have we had people on the show, like the author of Chaos, talk about all the secret experiments they're doing on people? They do it, and I don't think they stopped. But do you think there's bands out there like in the metal world who are using AI to make music? And if so, how do you feel about that?
Probably. Um, I honestly, I don't give a shit. Like, they're not taking any, food off my table. It's like, and like,
Name
I don't
them,
know. I
name
think
them, so I can attack them. I'm just kidding.
I would never use it not to create music, never.
Yeah,
I've used it for artwork or like the basis of artwork, and then I'll still go into Photoshop things myself and like, but it can create shit you would never think of. I
yeah,
think that's also what's cool is you're working with a being that was just born
right.
that can create this insane stuff when you tell it things. And I'm working with it and creating art together. Like I think that's neat. as long as I'm not creating something and saying I did this and I didn't, or I'm hiding my lack of skill for
Right.
something. Like a lot of bands are already using like, you know, fake drums and fake this and fake
It's
that,
true.
and they can't play it live. They use a backing track, and
Yep.
you know, people are getting caught in their videos being edited and they're not really playing what they say. That's horseshit, and
Yeah.
fuck you for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like if some bands like we made some AI song and like just they, you know, that's stupid, but I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I think I would appreciate the transparency with it. I feel like there's definitely
yeah,
people who I know who are calling themselves authors of books, and I don't think they wrote them. I think,
yeah, that's a big problem because that's the
yeah,
easiest thing for AI to do. You can tell it
right,
to write a book right now; it'll be amazing.
right, right. And then that just robs all the urgency, the human urgency out of the project. But there's people who will read it and who will never know. And then it's like the criticism I'll get is, then what does it matter? If you don't know, why does it
Yeah.
matter? Okay, valid. I just personally, I've
The problem
issues.
would be the person getting paid for the work
Yeah,
it didn't create and it's
right.
claiming I wrote this myself. That's the issue with it. But
Yeah.
if you want to make an AI author and say, I created this author, this personality with AI, and these are the books it writes,
Hmm.
this is the work I've done. So if you want to buy that and you're completely transparent, I guess so. Like
Yeah.
I feel like so many movies are created with AI though, not just like
Yeah.
in the physical, but like the
scripts.
scripts. Yeah.
Scripts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's going to become majority. I call it fake, but I guess it's, depending on what your definition of fake is, because people like the way you're describing it is like you have a collaborator, and you've
Mhm.
got you've
Yeah.
you've got this thing that has this memory. I don't know what else to call it, but it's got some sort
Yeah.
of memory-ish
It's
thing.
literally like Tony Stark's thing.
Right.
It remembers what I do and what I told it or what like, you know, and it's literally my new Google. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one thing I'll never ever use it to make music because that's the one thing that comes from me and that's my passion.
Yeah.
But anything else like for work, for whatever, making my life easier, like I'm embracing it because it's just gonna keep coming.
Yeah. There's
And
no escaping it.
Yeah, until one
yeah.
day the AI is like, "Hey, I wrote this song for you. You want to hear it?
Paul, we know you.
We know everything about you."
Yeah.
I just that the what I get out of making music is that I created something from nothing, so I
Yeah.
would get nothing out of that, even
Yeah.
if I like the song it made.
Yeah.
Like that's what I get out of it is I created something I wanted to hear that didn't exist,
Mm.
and now it exists because I made it, and that's the joy I get. Like I want to hear a song that sounds like that. Let me figure out how to do it. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would get nothing out of that,
Yeah.
even if it was good.
Totally. Yeah. I respect that for sure. So like the band from Second Story Window stopped playing. How long has it been since you stopped?
We broke up in 2008, and then we reunited in 2022 behind the scenes. 2023 was the first show.
So like I feel like it's almost like you time traveled, because
Yeah,
when you started the band again, when you reunited, there's all this new technology, you know?
yeah. There's social media. Like all there was MySpace before. It wasn't anything like now. There
That's
was
funny.
no TikTok, Instagram.
It's crazy.
Um, there's no like putting yourself on reels and like come to our show. Like
Right.
we're all old and like it was. I was very uncomfortable getting in front of the camera at first, like
Mm.
starting my own YouTube channel and the podcast and all that. But just like I'm just like AI, I'm like I'm gonna embrace it. This is what you do now. So
You're
if you want
you're
to get the word out,
you're doing great at it. There's a lot of bands who do it, and it just seems so fake and forced to me. But you guys have embraced all this new stuff really well. Like, so the podcast is
thank
called
you.
Riff Tacos, and I look forward to it on Monday mornings because it's just music, and you're just talking to other musicians and people who play music, and it's a nice break from all the other stuff. And
Yeah,
it's great. It's great.
I
I'm glad you're
appreciate
doing it
that,
again,
man.
man. It's awesome. But like, how has it changed? How is that time span off now that you're back playing like full time with this band? How has that technology look now? Like, has it affected the way you're writing in terms, not AI, but just in terms of like straight up the gear?
Yeah, yeah. I have a quad cortex now for playing live, and for those who don't know, that's basically like a complete amp and effects pedal sim in a box that fits on your pedal board. And there's a bunch of different brands that do it now, but from my research, quad was like the best one. It's the simplest one. It's like the Apple of those products, and you can have any amp ever. You can capture your own amps. You can capture effects pedals. You can download effects pedals. You can download anything. Like it's just completely amazing. It solved every problem I had with an analog board. I can now travel to a show as long as there's a cabinet there or speaker to plug into with just a guitar and a pedal board.
That's
Everything's
crazy.
there. So that's the biggest one. That's the most recent thing. Rob and I both did that, and it's just amazing. It sounds amazing too. And like one of the things, we're doing more effects with our newer songs. So like I would have like 3 pedals I want turned on at once. Like I need a reverb and a delay and a chorus, and you're tap dancing live. And with that, you could set all that to one button.
Wow.
So like, and it's just a custom thing just for that one song. You can hit it and all those things turn on at once.
Yeah.
So just beautiful thing. That and like demoing over the internet. When I lived in Texas, I would write some demos with guitar and basic drums, and then send it over here. And then they tell me whether they like it or not. Nick would make the drums better, make them his own. And then like Will would send us stuff. Now Sean's back in the band, so he's working from home, and that was like just something that we didn't even fathom before.
Yeah,
So
I love that.
now we can write and record that way, and yeah, it's much easier than only doing it in a room, never hearing it back, like played back to you till you go to the studio, completely probably not prepared to and done with everything.
Yep.
And then you just got to lay it down. And there was like a cool, that's just what is what it was. And it was raw, but I don't know. I like to spend a little more time on things and feel more complete, even though it never is. You're always just abandoning it whenever you have to.
That is the truth. Yeah. Nothing's ever going to be perfect, but that's what's so great about it, you know?
Yeah.
And then you're live, for those who haven't seen videos of this band live, they're pretty wild live. It's why I love you guys, as well as the great songs. But you just had your first like official show back with Sean on vocals full time now, right?
Yeah, Sean was the first vocalist in the band. Technically not the very first, but he was the first on the first EP.
Yeah.
Not One Word Has Been Omitted. So he quit the band in 2004 or 5 when he had a kid, and then Will took over, and then Will was back when we first reunited, and then Sean just rejoined, and we had our first show with him in Columbus last weekend, and it went great.
It looked awesome.
Yeah.
The video
Yeah,
looks
really
great.
fun. We got to play some old songs. We added another song from the EP that we never played with me in the band, even that long ago. That's how long it had been.
Wow.
Played new stuff with him for the first time. Another new song we haven't even released yet. So
sick.
It's
I can't wait to hear that. Yeah. So you have the newest single out that came out in January called Lowest. You can get that all over the place. It's amazing. There's a video online as well. Love that song. But before we go, is there anything else you want to shout out?
Just the podcast that I'm working on every week now. I have guests. I'm going to have guests from all genres on, but right now it's basically been metal and like the 2000 scene and kind of just my background, because that was his natural starting point. But have people on from all genres and different parts of the music world. So like booking agents, producers, just pretty much anyone who has a passion for music and wants to come on and talk. And yeah, it's called Riff Tacos. You can follow that on Instagram, and it's on all platforms for the podcast, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, all that. And yeah, we'll have new music from Second Story Window. We're going to drop an EP later this year, hopefully before summer. We're wrapping up the last few songs for that now.
Awesome. Just
takes us longer than we thought because we're old dudes with a lot of things going on. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, that's basically it. Yeah,
I really, if people are into this music, please, like heavy music, I really recommend your show. You've had on Guy from the Red Chord. That's one of my favorite bands. You had Rich from Sawtooth Grin recently, the bass player from Norma Jean. So it's awesome. And then your band members have been on as well. So it's sick. And for those interested, the links are in the description below. Paul, I appreciate you joining us.
I appreciate you, man. This was really fun.
Yeah.
I love paranormal everything, so it's great to get to talk about that. And thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, man. I'm glad the tornado didn't sweep us away.
It was close.
At one point while you were talking, we heard the loud. I don't know if you heard the thunder, but it's getting crazy. So we're gonna make our escape and hopefully make it home. But Paul, thanks again, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Stay safe out there.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you.
Later.
Take care.
Paul's the man. I'm gonna listen to his music on the way home as I fight through the tornado.